Hello, class. Today we're going to look at Lesson 5-2, Part 3. And again, it's multiplying fractions, so the same idea. The only thing added in today is seeing where you can reduce the final answer to its lowest terms. Now, we did earlier in the year, we did take fractions and reduce them to lowest terms. Remember, we found GCF, greatest common factor. We spent some time on that. Then we looked at how greatest common factor can be used to reduce fractions. So this shows you two different ways you can do that. I'm going to quickly show you that, and really we're going to really look at method one more than method two, but I'll show you both here. So it says,
when multiplying two fractions, such as 3/8 times 2/5, there are two ways you can use to write the product in simplest form.
and again, simplest form means taking a fraction and making it in its lowest term so the numbers can't go any smaller than that. So here they show you if you had 3/8 times 2/5, 3/8 times 2/5, and we did it like we've been doing it, which is multiplying the numerators and multiplying the denominators. 3 times 2 and 8 times 5. So down here, 3 times 2, our numerator is 6. 8 times 5, our denominator is 40. 3 times 2 is 6 for our numerator. 8 times 5 is 40 for our denominator. And then what we would do is we would find the GCF, the greatest common factor of 6 and 40. And if we did like we did in class, where we set that little thing up and we found all the factors and found which was the greatest common factor, we would find the greatest common factor was 2 for 6 and 40. So 6 divided by 2 is 3. 40 divided by 2 is 20. So 6/40 becomes 3/20. Again, originally the problem was 3/8 times 2/5, which equaled 6/40. Find the GCF. 6 divided by 2 is 3. 40 divided by 2 is 20. I'm going to show you, I'm not even going to go into method 2 right now because I think it might be a little more confusing than it's worth. So again, go on today and look at this screen. You can certainly look at method 2 if you want. Don't let it confuse you, though. But you're also going to solve these two problems.
How far is this library, man? My dogs are barking. Don't even start with me. We're almost there.
Find the area in square miles of a rectangular city neighborhood shown in the diagram below.
The important thing is that you find that it's 1/3 of a mile by 9/10 of a mile. And if you multiply 1/3 times 9/10, you will get your answer. So 1/3 times 9/10. So you might want to take a piece of paper. I'll show you what I would do. Click down here. Let me get myself an open page. So we have 1/3 times 9/10. Okay, so we multiply across the top. 1 times 9 equals 9. 3 times 10 equals 30. Again, so that came from my original problem of 1/3 times 9/10. All right, 1/3 times 9/10. Multiply your numerators. 1 times 9 is 9. 3 times 10 is 30. Now, 9 over 30 is not in lowest terms. So what I want to do is I want to take 9 over 30, and I want to find the greatest common factor. Change my color here. So remember when we did that earlier in the year. Okay, we found all the factors of 9. 1 times 9 is 9. Anything times 2 that equals 9? No. But 3 times 3 equals 9. So all the factors of 9 are 1, 3, 3, and 9. Because 1 times 9 is 9. 3 times 3 is 9. So I hope this is coming back to you like we did in class when we did greatest common factor. And what are all the factors of 30? Again, we start with 1 and 30. Because 1 times 30 is 30. Anything times 2 that equals 30? Yes. 2 times 15 is 30. Anything times 3? Yes. 3 times 10 equals 30. Anything times 4? No. But how about 5? Yes, 5 times 6 equals 30. Then we look at all the factors that they have in common. Okay, they have 1 in common, and they have 3 in common. They don't have 5 in common, 6, 10, 9, 15, or 30. So the greatest common factor is what? 3. So I'm going to use that 3. So I'm going to take that 9/30ths, and I'm going to use the greatest common factor of 3. So 9 divided by 3, 30 divided by 3. Use a calculator if you want to do your division, because I know it can be confusing. 9 divided by 3 is 3. 30 divided by 3 is 10. So your final answer will be 3/10. 3/10. You started from the original problem. 1/3 times 9/10 equaled 9/30. Find the greatest common factor of 9/30. That was 3. Use that greatest common factor to reduce that fraction, 3/10. Okay, if we check back here, all right, the solution. All right, and it shows you, just as Mr. Leary showed you, your final answer would be 3/10. All right. And then there's this one too. Find the area of the grass sod. Okay, so 5/6 times 3/5. Feel free to try that one on your own when you log on today. So what you will do today, though, is worksheet C. Okay, and it has a spot for you to put your answers at the bottom. I'm going to show you just how to do just one of them today, but we're going to use this paper here. 1/20 times 4/9. Okay, so I'm going to multiply across the top my numerators. 1 times 4 is 4. And down the bottom, 20 times 9. 20 times 9 is 180. Okay, and I want to see if I can reduce that to lowest terms by finding the greatest common factor. So 4/180 was what I found to be my first answer. All right, so I'm going to see if I can find the greatest common factor. So I'm going to find all the factors of 4. 1 times 4 is 4. And 2 times 2 is 4. Now, 180, you're going to have a lot of numbers. It looks like there's a lot of ways to get 180, but I'm going to show you a way you can kind of stop short of finding them all because you don't really need to. So we start with 1 and 180. Okay, and then I want to think 2 times any number that's 180. Yes, 90. 2 times 90. Okay. I might know that because if I look back at the original problem, I multiplied 9 times 20, which is kind of similar to that idea of 2 times 90. All right, 3 times anything that's 180, no, but 4 times 45 gives me 180. And then I'm going to stop there, and let me tell you why. Because obviously 4, the highest number here is 4. Well, look, there's a 4 there too. So the greatest common factor is 4, even though they share 1 and 2 and 4. 4 is the GCF, the greatest common factor. So I can stop right there. I don't have to find any other ones because it's obviously not going to be bigger than 4. So I'm going to take that 4 over 180. And I'm going to divide 4 divided by 4 and 180 divided by 4. And I know that 4 divided by 4 is 1. And 180 divided by 4 is 45. Because I know up here, 4 times 45 was 180. So 180 divided by 4 must be 45. So my final answer is 1/45. So when you get to your worksheet today, okay, so we know now that we get 1 times 4 is 4, and 20 times 9 is 180. If I want, I could put my initial answer as 4 over 180. Then I can also type the final answer. I'll say or 1 over 45. So try that today. If you have problems with reducing fractions and you're getting frustrated, it's okay. Just give me those initial answers, and then we can work later on reducing. But see if you can reduce and get to lowest terms. So try part 3 of the lesson today in digits, and also try worksheet C.